Welcome back, Shalligators. We are here today to do one thing and one thing only, okay? It's shred Katy Perry and Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez for their ridiculous ass flight to space. It was a big fat fucking nothing burger of science and dignity or anything else worthwhile doing in this world. They did not do that. So picture just this giant ball of like things that matter. And then I want you to think of the opposite of that. That's what that was. We're going to talk about this because what the fuck was this? Was this one giant leap for female kind, or was it nothing more than a vanity project? And here's the thing. I am going to make a very strong case for vanity. I am going to make an excellent case today for the majesty of douchebaggery, right? I think we all have the right to be a douchebag if we want to be, but there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. And what do you do if you encounter a poser? What do you do if you're like the two women who were on that flight, Aisha Bowe and Amanda Nguyen, who actually are astronauts? Amanda definitely is. I know Aisha is a former rocket scientist for NASA. I don't know if she is actually an astronaut herself, because they're not the same, dude. They're not the same. What do you do if you are actually a legitimate expert in your field? Here comes a clown. Maybe they just got hired in your office and you're like, you should not even fucking be here. Maybe they're the teacher's pet and they are stupid. Maybe they're your cousin and they're like the family favorite. And you're like, what the fuck? What do you do with someone who does not deserve praise and acclaim? And maybe they're coming for the praise and acclaim that you have worked legitimately very hard for. So we're going to talk copycats, posers, and yeah, just general douchebags. Speaking of douchebags, speaking of vanity, speaking of living your best life and not giving a fuck what other people say about it, that's right, I've got a new trip. You guys, we are going to the French Riviera this September 15th through 21st. I cannot wait for this trip. Look, you probably followed along for my Amalfi Coast trip last September, and did you miss the boat? Probably, because that trip was oversold. We had to turn people away. Lucky for you, we're gonna do it again. This time, bigger, better, bolder, and more glam. We are going to Cannes, Nice, Monaco, a little place called Billionaires Bay. What do you think we're gonna find there on a sunny, beautiful afternoon in the French Riviera? We're going to beach clubs, Hotel Cap du Ferrat, where they have the Cannes Film Festival, where all the celebrities stay. I mean, this is truly the elite luxury trip of a lifetime that even if you wanted to spend weeks planning and 10 trillion voice notes with your friends trying to coordinate, honestly, you couldn't. Like, you wouldn't know the cool places like the It Beach Club. I do. And the company that I work with, Little Blue Door Travel, those girls live in Monaco. So these are locals taking you to the local places that really only like celebrities and jet sets and billionaires know about. But now you do. Come meet the best friends you've never even known that you were missing. Spaces are super limited. Click the link down below. You can WhatsApp the girls who are our little travel agents coordinating the trip. Get any questions answered. I cannot wait to see you guys there. Like, I am so personally geeked for this trip. I cannot even tell you. But let's talk about another kind of trip. This fucking space thing. Okay, so do you know that they're like, this is historic? I mean, this is what I hate. Like when people are like, we're making history. You're the first giraffe to win an Oscar. Like, what? Not everything needs to be like historical to have value. And in fact, if you look at it, a lot of things that are historical have absolutely no fucking value. Have you seen some of like the Guinness World Book of Records lately? Like, oh my God. Okay, that poor kid who died in the Titanic submarine thing, who didn't even want to go. Oh my God, it haunts me. He was bringing his Rubik's Cube down there, bless his heart, because he wanted to set a world record for like the lowest Rubik's Cube solving at the bottom of the ocean. Now, what in the holy fuck is that about? Like, okay, just because it's never happened before doesn't mean it needs to happen, doesn't mean it has value. And so I think we all looked at this space mission, which had, yeah, Katy Perry, the Who's Who of Nobody Cares, after that horseshit album she put out, Women's World, we have nipples, I menstruate women. Gayle King, okay, you're a news anchor. Lauren Sanchez, who is boning and marrying Jeff Bezos. I actually love her. I don't know if you guys ever watched my video on how she like snagged him. Truly, I think it was one of my best videos. It was basically how to get a rich man. So if you want to come on this French Riviera trip, watch that video. I'm gonna put it right here. And then come on that trip because you have the blueprint. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't date broke guys ever. And then there were two actual, real space NASA people here. So one of them was Amanda Nguyen. She wrote a book recently that's incredible. It's called Saving Five. She was like Harvard educated. She just is one of these superstar people that you look at her and you're like, how many hours are in your day? Because do you have like a time turner like Hermione had? She was a NASA astronaut. She was raped when she was 22. And I guess they throw away rape kits sometimes in like 45 days. It's crazy. It's crazy. And she went to Congress and lobbied to have kits stay around long. I can't even really summarize her life because she's just such a badass. Aisha Bo, a NASA rocket scientist, and then some other asshole, Carrie Ann Flynn, she's a film producer. Literally, who cares? So she was just like the photographer. She's like the designated friend who's like, no, I don't want to be in the picture. No, I'll take it of you guys. No, I'll take it of you guys. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I don't need to be in it. I'll take it of you. Get together. Is that what she was up there doing? Like she knows how to tell everyone to hit their angle, so that's what they invited her for? They were very specific when talking about this flight to say it's an all-female space flight. It's a space flight. The word that they are not using to describe this is space mission. Because what does a mission have? A mission, a fucking point. It's not a space mission. It's basically paving the way for Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin, probably also SpaceX as well, to do just commercial flights, commercial moonwalks. I remember being told when I was at space camp, because, I went through that phase where I wanted to be an astronaut until they told me at that space camp that astronauts have to swallow their toothpaste. I literally called my mom. I was like, I don't know that I can do this. She's like, I've made plans. You're going to stay there the whole time. You don't have to be an astronaut. But I remember like the astronaut who came and talked to us, he was like lecturing us about the dangers of privatizing the space program, basically taking it away from NASA and letting exactly what is happening now happen, which is shit like you can just go to the moon. You can take any rich asshole up there and they can stomp around the moon, which is important. They could, I don't know, sell a portion of the sky and blast the Pepsi logo there. Like, we don't think about this. Shit like this is Jurassic Park. We're so busy thinking, can we? No one is asking, should we? I feel this way about fertility treatments. Why is there so much autism? Why are there so many peanut allergies? I don't know. But guess what? The doctors who are like, absolutely do 10 more rounds. Absolutely do this. Absolutely do that. They don't know either. They don't know either. And they don't fucking care. They care about money. They care about self-aggrandizement. We have to look out for ourselves. And we also have to look out for our planet and apparently all the other planets, because now this is a thing. Now this is a thing. I personally would never go to space. I can just Google the view, I'm not a space person. That's a hard no. That's a hard no for me. I don't get it. I think it's weird. I think it's weird. I think there are two categories of people who want to go to space: scientists and like true space nerds, and psychopaths. And there is not one other person on that ship. There is not. There are malignant narcissists and there are people of science. Okay? It's not just a normie who's like, sure. Nope. So if you say you want to go to space, I would look at the rest of your life and the outcomes and be like, am I overwhelmingly a person of science, or could I perhaps be a psychopath? Like, don't fucking take me. Don't ask me. But I think what everyone had a problem with is just how masturbatory this was. It's just like this self-aggrandizing why. The big question is why? Why these people? Just because they're rich and they could afford it? Okay. Again, space tourism. What scientifically did this do? Like, if you're going to drop the words historic, never before seen, life-changing. Okay, why? Why? What did you fucking do? I have actually always low-key, a little bit, admired Katy Perry. She was like in the emo scene when I was in it because she was dating Travis McCoy from Gym Class Heroes. They were briefly engaged. People always said she was kind of a klepto. She would like go to people's houses and take things, but I don't know. I hope not. That's hella weird. But I always admired her because she's like, when I would be on tour and I'd be around Europe, I would just shop my way around. Oh, I'll go to Dior, I'll go to this. And then she's like, wait a minute. I want to learn my way around. So I go to museums now. I go to like the cultural center. I go to the palaces and I try to read about every place I'm going. And this was pretty revolutionary at the time for a pop star to say this. This was in like 2009 or something like that, when you just had Christina with her vag out and Britney with her vag out. Everyone had their vag out, right? And I was like, wow, that's really cool of Katy Perry. I remember Shakira around the same time going back to college and studying Western Civ. Just like totally low key because she wanted to do it. And that I think is really, really super cool. I myself am going back to school. I am going to Oxford University this summer for their advanced summer writing program. I'm so thrilled and blessed to be able to do this, but I'm going to be working on my romantic fantasy novel that I'm writing that I'm hopefully going to have ready for release by December. I want it perfect, so I don't know, but I would love us to have a slutty winter read, okay? So I am going to immerse myself in learning. It's something that I've wanted to do forever, and I think that there's so much magic in continuing to learn. People look at me from like high school and they're like, you've gotten hotter. Just since we're talking about douchebags. And I swear to God, it's not like, well, I've had 10 facelifts. I haven't had any. I really think I keep learning. And I try to be around people who are going to teach me something and put myself in situations where I'm going to learn something. I never really listen to music. I listen to podcasts. I watch history documentaries as I'm doing my makeup. This creates neuroplasticity that I swear to God creates like collagen plasticity. So that to me is the secret of life. If you never want to peak, if you never want to be like old and like lame, some people are born lame. Keep learning. And I watched Katy Perry give some interviews about this. And I was really hoping that she would have something marginally coherent to say.
I am excited to learn more about STEM and just the math about what it takes to accomplish this type of thing. I was winding down from a rehearsal the other day and I was listening to Cosmos by Carl Sagan and reading a book on string theory, and I was like going to bed. That was definitely like helping. I was like Pythagoras. But I've always been interested in astrophysics and interested in astronomy and astrology and the stars. I feel like we are all made of stardust and we all come from the stars, and it'll be exciting to see them twinkle from that site. And also
astrology? Yeah. Everyone's favorite course in STEM. Am I compatible with the Sagittarius? Mercury in retrograde. Astrology. Why don't you tell me about string theory, Katy? Listen, dude, I shouldn't be throwing shade. I have no fucking clue what string theory is. I'm very into quantum physics. I'm sure that has absolutely no application here. Fine. Yeah, Gayle King clapped back at haters like during an interview with People, and she's like, anybody that's criticizing doesn't really understand what's happening here. That's the point, Gayle. Nobody understand what the fuck is happening here. What is the point? What is the point? Were you going up there to look at something, monitor levels? No, it was just a fucking joyride. And listen, here's where we can get into this. Just be rich and do weird rich people shit. Do you know how much more respect I would have had for them if they were just like, we can afford it and this is cool, so I want to go. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. We are all extremely rich. But this is giving Marie Antoinette. This is giving let them eat cake. I know she never said that, whatever. This is also giving misogyny. I think I should have said this at the beginning. We would not be here discussing this. There would be no memes, no outrage if this was a male crew and it was like Johnny Depp and Johnny Manziel and every other asshole Johnny on planet Earth that they just shot into space for 15 minutes. People would be like, douche. And then everybody would move on, right? But it's women. And so we are held to a higher standard. I hold women to a higher standard because we are fucking smarter. Not because I hate women, because I'm like, aw, man. Oh, you want his face? Did your wiener float? Like, I look at women, it's like, girls, you have heavy is the head that wears the crown, okay? Like, you need to be doing better than this. I cannot believe Lauren Sanchez's face didn't explode. I actually have more of a respect for her. She's at least a pilot. She's a helicopter pilot. Those things are hard as fuck to fly. So good for her. She also finesses rich men. Another skill that I believe we should take to different planets when we're colonizing life, okay? Let's teach them. But yeah, what was the point? So first I want to talk about being a douche and just fucking owning it. And then I want to talk about posers. All right. Be a douche and own it. I do. Like, I am an unabashed douchebag. And I define douchebag as someone who seeks and pursues a life of pleasure. Okay? The guy I'm dating gets up at 4:45 every day. Nope. He's like, do you want to go on a sunrise hike? No, I don't. I do not. If I ever see the sunrise, I'm up too early for a flight, or I've been up all night doing drugs. Neither is part of my life anymore. So thank you. I know what the sunrise looks like. I would rather sleep. To me, being a douchebag, and please, I want to know your definition of douchebag, because it's one of those words that, like, it can mean like a guy who's vaping and raving in a 7-Eleven parking lot, for sure. It could be the guy that's trying to, like, tell you about crypto for 2 hours on a first Tinder date, right? My personal brand of douche is, I view it as just unapologetic me-ness. And I understand that, like, I come across maybe to some people as like a bit of a silly goose. Okay, I don't care. It's this concept of, I actually don't care what you think about my life. I would love it if you approved of my life. Who doesn't want approval? Who doesn't want, like, the rhythm section clapping and cheering for you? But at the end of the day, I gotta make myself happy. In the macro, I don't want kids. They don't make me happy. To the micro, I have a bizarre amount of scented candles and blankets in my house. It's like a midnight mass flop house. Okay, I love it. I have little tiny plasticky things on my straw charms and my Stanley and a little carrier. These little silly goose things keep me from shooting. Just they keep me non-incarcerated. They keep me non-incarcerated. And I think, like, this is why I always get so, like, weirdly heated up when people, like, bash on basic bitches at, like, I love fall. Let her love fall. Let McKinsley love fall. Let her children, Braxton and Taxton, just let them just do it. If this is what makes them happy, who cares? It's the let them method. It's the just let me have this little goosiness. And you know what, though? If you don't like it, with love, with respect, go fuck yourself. I don't care. Because I am so ridiculously silly goose happy doing my little douchebag things that the slings and arrows of everyone else's opinion, like, of course I hear them and of course I don't like them, but it's like, I'm sorry, I am so happy. I can only really hear the music of, like, my own happiness. That I know that you're making a sound, but I don't really just hear it. It's not on my frequency. And I get this feedback a lot about travel from my mother, who is like an adventure traveler, right? Although the hardest feedback always comes from our mothers. She's an adventure traveler. She's climbed Patagonia at like 65 and she wants to go again. And she wants to go to Antarctica and she goes to Bhutan. And I'm like, I will be in Monaco. Billionaire Bay. Because that's what I like. That's what I like. And you know what? I don't need to justify it. We just talked about this in the Shallon today. What an amazing tie-in. We say a lot around here. No is a complete sentence. No. I don't want to. I don't have time. Can't afford it. I need time to myself. Not no, but I'm so sorry. It's not no plus an apology and 10 justifications and a promise to make it up to you. It's just no, can't. I'm sorry, but it's a no. No is a complete sentence. And it's the hardest sentence and the scariest sentence for any woman in the world to say no. But you know what else is a very difficult sentence? But also a complete sentence? Yay! Yay! Yay. I like it. I want that. I'm doing that. Yay. Yay is a complete sentence. This is literally the video I did today in the Shallon. If you want to know more about this in, like, a big deep dive, click the link down below. Plus, you're going to get 5 videos a week and access to, like, hundreds and hundreds of friends around the world. Have not colonized space, though. We're still Earthside. Yay is a complete sentence. By the way, this is my microphone. It's a whole thing. I'm sorry. You are allowed to just like what you like. Don't be actively ultra weird. We've also been talking about this in the Shallontrage. Like, if you have like a weird niche, take it to the appropriate place. Your book club, a Comic-Con, whatever. Don't like spray it all over the world and just be like hella weird. But be like petite weird. Be weird for yourself in your own private spaces. Do what you like to do. Cultivate a life that you like. Because you know what? You know when I decided to do this? When I realized no one was coming to save me. When horrible things happened to me and no one saved me, no one fixed it. People had like sympathy and empathy, but at the end of the day, I was picking up the pieces in my own life, whatever that looked like. And so it got really driven home to me in a very stark way that, okay, well, if no one's here when shit hits the fan, why exactly am I living my life to please anyone else on this planet? And that doesn't mean you have no friends, you scorch your family, you're roaming the earth alone like the Incredible Hulk. No. Actually, when I started truly focusing on pleasing myself first and foremost, putting my oxygen mask on first, right? I weeded out so many assholes, and the good people who were in my life, our relationships became better and deeper and stronger. And it magnetized more really good people into my life because they saw me either as a twin flame. Oh, I'm pleasing myself too. I have boundaries too. I love that Shallon is going to be in my corner about this because she's living the same way. Or they looked up to me. They wanted to become like this. I was inspirational, and they appreciated that I had my silly goose things, that I had my boundaries, that no was a complete sentence, but yay was also. They loved that. So if you think you're going to lose people by living for yourself, sister, you're right, but it's going to be the people who got to go anyway. It's going to be the trimming of dead ends to promote new growth. But let's pivot now and talk about posers, because I think that's what just galled everyone about this. I mean, that guy from NSYNC, the gay one, who was like obsessed with space and he's always wanted to go to space, he posts a lot about space. Like he's training, he's reading, he's doing these things. Like he's ultra into space. And again, Katy Perry, and of course we're focusing on her because she has the least reason to be there. Gail, all right, you're a journalist. Lauren Sanchez, you're a pilot. This filmmaker, you can Facetune everybody. I don't fucking know. Katy Perry, it's like, what? Also, her last album was bad. So I'm sorry, girl. You do not have the sympathy of the nation right now. You send Dua Lipa into space. You send Sabrina Carpenter into space. You're like, I don't know. I just love her. Katy, this was not the year for it. Don't get in a spaceship. Get in a fucking time machine and go back to when everyone loved your music and you were crushing it. Then we can blast you into orbit. Not now. But yeah, Katy, it was just like, you don't belong here, and you are standing on the shoulders of giants and acting like you're the same height. And I think it drove everyone especially nuts when she gets out of this pod and kisses the ground. Like, fuck off. You could get waterboarded for 11 minutes, dude, and be just fine. Now that's something I'd want to see. Celebrity waterboarding. We've picked 10 celebrities to go to a bay by the water, all expenses paid. Think of it as a wellness rehabilitation camp. That's right, it's Guantanamo Bay. Anyway, when she got out of that space potato, or whatever the fuck it was, their dick rocket that the wiener tip crashed back to her, I don't even know. The reporter's like, Katy, you're an astronaut. Are you, what? You're an astronaut? Okay, I've flown on planes. Am I a pilot? I brush my teeth. Am I a dentist? I have had adjacent experiences to actual professionals. I am not that person. And I think that this is like, everyone's like, everyone kind of had a different reason that this pissed them off. But it all circled back to being completely out of touch. Emily Ratajkowski like lost it about, I guess, the carbon footprint or something like that. Meghan McCain melted down because most people can't afford eggs, you know? I am just pissed off because KATY wasted the potential to truly learn and pass on that knowledge to her audience and have them grow. It's like, why do you want fame if you don't want to change anyone for the better? I have the exact same indictment about Lizzo. How she was, all you know about her is her big fat ass. I guess she's losing weight, but I'm sorry, she's still acting the exact same fool. That woman is a classically trained flautist. And she could have had Sonata Sundays where she told her audience of like disadvantaged young Black girls maybe about classical music, about musical theory. Nope. It's titties and ass. And I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's so lowbrow. Like, you could really be doing something out there and you're just doing the most base common denominator thing. And that's what people look at Katy Perry. And it's like, it's going to space is not the common denominator thing. Insane spending is the common denominator thing. That is the low hanging fruit of your station in life. Just torching all this money, torching opportunities, being so impressed with yourself. That's what gets under everyone's skin, right? It's not the space. It's not the booty, Lizzo. It's this. You have so many eyes on you. You have so much influence. I try to use the audience. I try to use this for us to get smarter and better and hotter. And it's like, if you're not doing that, what the fuck are you doing here? Gobbling up all of these resources and living better than people who are breaking their backs just to make ends meet. And who maybe do have a vision in their heart, like Amanda Nguyen, who is truly out here trying to change the world for the better for women. Her story is lost. It is just in the wind for Katy Perry. But I digress. Posers. Okay. Given what I do for a living, I deal with this all the time. Newcomers, people trying to get in your lane, people trying to tell you that you are, washed up, irrelevant, whatever. And I experience this in like a very weird landscape, social media and YouTubing and all that shit. You probably experience it too. Someone coming for your job, the intern who's like, oh, kind of a big, bright, shining star, more money, more problems. Like, this is the truth. The higher you go, more competition there is. Dealing with posers. And I am almost never going to tell you this advice. Truly ignoring them is the hardest thing you're going to do, but it's also the most effective. And I'll tell you to go to war if it's time. No one is ever going to defeat the original. Look at Kim Kardashian. I mean, she spawned not just like copycats, whole movements of like plastic surgery and makeup and style, right? Who has ever eclipsed her? Who is like the new Kim? There isn't one. Who's the new Kylie? There isn't one. They are the originals. And yes, of course, we could shred them and Kylie's not original. I know. But they are undefeated. They are undefeated. Like Jessica Burciaga, who looks like Jennifer Lopez. You know who she is? She's not bigger than Jennifer Lopez. Like, Jennifer Lopez is always going to be fucking Jennifer Lopez. All these like Instagram baddies who are trying to look like Kim or Kylie, you're not even making a fucking dent in their clout. You're not. People who want to be the next Taylor Swift, where are you? Where are you? It's not happening. And I know what it's like to feel that breath on your neck. Here they come. I've done TV projects. I'm working on another. And I work very hard to be like, they're not going to eclipse you. You are the star here. You are the reason. You are the talent. It's very tough. But what they want more than anything is your attention. More than anything. They are just hoping they can gain an audience with the master, that you will look at them and say, fuck you, because then they're an equal. And I know, I wouldn't want someone to look at me and say, fuck you. But these people, their self-esteem is so low. First of all, we know that because they're copying someone else's identity. That is so incredibly sad. And number two, they can't differentiate between positive and negative attention. That is also incredibly, incredibly sad. I don't want negative attention. I want positive attention. So I try to cultivate that. I'm not going to be the loudest girl in the bar or dress the sluttiest or, coming up with the wackiest ideas at work just to get eyes on me in the meeting. Like, no, I'm going to come up with good ideas and be able to sell them as such. Confidence is quiet. Dignity is difficult, but it wins the race. And if you're like, I hate this person. I really hate this person that I'm thinking about. So I don't know this doesn't feel like enough. Okay. What these people want more than anything is your attention. That's their oxygen. You deprive something of oxygen and you kill it. If you deprive this person of the thing they want more than anything, what is that if not cruelty? What is that if not abject, aggressive cruelty? Would you deprive a starving person of food? No. No, you wouldn't. To do so would be cruel. You are not cruel to that person. You be cruel to this hater and to this poser and to this copycat. And you know what? You don't have to like it. Do not buy into the thing. Well, it's the form of flattery. Go fuck yourself. When people say that to me, all I hear is, you've actually never created something, have you? You've never created something. Okay. You've never had something you've worked hard for stolen from you. You've never had something you have gone out on that emotional, risky limb, defied tradition, defied your family, defied the trends in your friends to craft a persona all your own just to have someone be like, copy paste, me too. You have never dared greatly, so you don't know what it feels like when someone, again, stands on the shoulders of a giant and acts like they're that tall. So you do not have to like it. You do not have to self-gaslight and be like, I'm so flattered. You don't. But you have to accept that this is painful, that this is unfair and enraging, but you also have to starve them of that oxygen, all right? And know that they will hang themselves because eventually they're going to run out of ideas. Like that slut who copies Livy Dunn on OnlyFans. What's her? I don't even know her name. Whatever. Brecky, like breakfast, is her name short for breakfast? I don't know. I'm a big Livy Dunn stan. Obviously, my mindset coach, Laura St. John, is Livy's aunt and created her program that you guys do based on everything she taught Livy. And look at where Livy Dunn has gotten. And I just hate that girl. I hate that copycat girl. But like, how sad. She's just a parasite. And if Livy was like, I'm packing up my life and, I'm going to live a quiet life off the internet, she would kill breakfast. She would kill Miss Breakfast. She exists. Breakfast exists by the grace of Livy's existence, right? How fucking sad. How sad. What a servant life. What a slave life. And this bitch, we're supposed to think that she's a killer, that she's going to come for Livy's crown? I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. Livy has actual talent. This girl has tits. All right. And an internet connection. Cool. Good for you, breakfast. Eventually it will be supper. Did you like that pun? I know. I'm sorry. I was stupid. All right. We're going to wrap it up. I've got a plane to catch. But I just want to... I feel you on this. But I am telling you the strategy. Let these people hang themselves. And you keep focusing. You stay blinders on. I don't follow other YouTube creators. I don't follow other influencers because I get too triggered and jealous. Just to be real with you. I know that about myself. I'm not going to sit here and gaslight myself and be like, well, you're weak if you can't follow them. Okay, then I'm weak. Great, I accept that. I want to be weak, acknowledge that, and take precautions to insulate myself from the baloney and the triggeriness that disrupts me. And I want to stay in my flow. I want to stay focused and achieving, and that will eventually annihilate anyone who's trying to get in my way. They're looking around at everyone else. I am focused. It's not easy, but it is effective. Tell me what you think about this space thing. I know I probably left a ton of stuff out and I missed some details, so let's keep ranting about it in the comments. And like I said, come to the French Riviera with me. This is going to be the most glamorous, jet set, elite trip of a lifetime. And these aren't trips that you guys do every year, these are once in a lifetime trips. You remember them forever, and they will fundamentally reset your standards for yourself, for the people in your life, for the men that you date. You will unlock new sides of yourself that you've always wanted to access. And now you can. And I don't know if I mentioned this, we have payment plans. You can just put down a deposit and then pay the rest off in installments, so they're more accessible than ever. All right, girls, I will see you later. See you later, alligators. Mwah!